In this video, we're going to learn about finding the average. And many times when we're talking about the average, we're really talking about finding the mean. What is average? Average is going to be a middle number that represents a whole group of numbers. What is the mean? The mean is just one of many different ways of finding an average. Well, how do you find the mean? To find the mean, first, you're going to add all the numbers in your data together. 2, you're going to figure out how many numbers there were in your data. And then finally, you're going to divide that first total, you're going to divide it by the number of numbers. And that is going to be your mean, or your average. So let's say Javion scored the following on his last 5 social studies vocabulary quizzes. He got an 8, a 9, a 9, a 7, and a 10. Find his average score. So the first thing we need to do is we need to add all these numbers together. So we've got 8 and 9 is 17, 17 and 9 is 26, 26 and 7 is 33, and 10, that makes 43 total points. Second, we want to know how many numbers we added up. Well, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. There were 5 quizzes. And then 3, we need to divide 43 divided by 5. So his average score is about 8.6 or 8 6/10. In the 2014 NBA playoffs, the Miami Heat beat the Brooklyn Nets in 5 games. LeBron scored 22, 22, 28, 49, and 29 points in those games. What was his average score for the series? So first, we need to add up 22, 22, 28, 49, and 29. And when we're doing statistics, we don't have to do it all in our head. We can use a calculator. And so across those 5 games, he scored 150 total points. 2, how many games were there? There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 3, we need to divide 150 divided by 5. You could use your brain or you could use a calculator, but we can see that he was averaging 30 points per game. How many wins have the Vikings averaged in the past 10 years? So they're not listing it out for us, but they did give us a graph. And we can see in 2004 they had 8 wins, 2005 they had 9, 2006 they had 6 wins, 2007 they had 8, 2008 they had 10, 2009 they had 12, then we dropped a lot, we were down to 6. Ooh, this was a bad year. 3, 10, and 5. So again, we need the first step. We need to add all these numbers up. And I get they had 77 wins. They had 77 wins total in the past 10 years. 2, we got to divide by the number of years, which was 10 years. And third step, we've got 77 divided by 10. You could use your brain or a calculator, and we find out that they were averaging about 7.7 or 7 7/10 games per year. Outliers. Outliers affect your data a lot. Outliers are essentially freaks They're data that doesn't really cluster with the rest of the data. They're way out there by themselves. Find Malia's average quiz score. So we need to add all of her quiz scores up. And so when we add them all up, we get 62 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. We get 7.75. 7 3/4 is her average score. Now, the next question, are there any outliers? Are there any freakish data there? And if you can't see it by looking, maybe you can put it in a dot plot and see if anything stands out. Alright, so here's the dot plot. We can see that there's a giant cluster here of almost all the quiz scores. Then there's a huge gap in this one all by itself. This one's not a very good score. It's all by itself. This one is an outlier. So she must have had a really bad day or something because that one doesn't fit with the rest of the data. Now, if there are any outliers, how do they affect the average? So this was the average with all the numbers. Let's see if we can find the average without the outlier. So we're not going to count the 3. So that'll put us at a total number of points at 59. And we divide by the number of quizzes. And since we got rid of the 3, that means there's only 7 of them. And now we find the average. And the average is now 8.43, a little less than 8.5. Outliers can have a very big difference. She now has a B. With this one counted in, she would have a C, because it's about 70%. This one's about 84%. So outliers, you need to decide, should they be included? Because they will have a large effect on your average.